welcome to Who's Who in the Valley. Who's Who in the Valley is a spotlight on people in our area who are making a difference and sponsored by this Highland Activities Center. Today my guest is Phil Weitlauf. He is talking about Michigan War Dogs Memorial. Thank you for coming today.
Oh, you're welcome.
First off, what is the background you have in military experience?
I joined the Army in 1962, which is a long time ago. I spent 2 years mainly stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I was trained in infantry and then assigned to a training unit during my tour of the Army. So that's my background in the military. It's kind of pre-Vietnam, even though I'm considered a Vietnam-era veteran. It was pre-Vietnam that I served.
Did you start off working with war dogs?
No. During my time in the military, I had nothing to do with the war dogs. It's later on in life that I got involved, mainly after spending several conversations with a lot of my veterans friends that were Vietnam dog handlers. Kind of got me inspired of what the dogs had done, and then it kind of took off from there. So.
Is that what got you inspired in the War Dogs Memorial?
Yeah, the War Dog Memorial is, I actually read a book on canine warriors. And right after reading that book, I was quite inspired of what the dogs had done. And we discovered an abandoned pet cemetery over in South Lyon. So my dog and I, my other German Shepherd, Cody, and I went for a walk one day to check it out. Somebody told me there's a big monument there that said war dogs. And we did find it back in this woods, and surrounded in this monument with all kind of little headstones popping up. And the place was absolutely in horrible shape. So I went back to the VSO that I belong to, that stands for Veteran Service Organization, the AMVETS. And I asked to form a detail to start cleaning it up, because it just is in such terrible shape. And several of the veterans joined up, along with some canine supporters, and we started cleaning it up. The first day that we set the volunteer day to clean up was over 50 people showed up, which really inspired me, that people cared. And so we continued working on it. And as I've said, the thing kind of took a life of its own. It was a feel-good mission. And about the same time, I realized that if a military dog is killed in action, then there's a memorial and a burial for that dog on the home base or wherever he's deployed. If he passes away while he's still stationed in the military, there's a memorial and a burial. However, if he retires from the military and passes away, he has nowhere to go because of a 1979 law that states no animals allowed in the national cemeteries. Even though these canine warriors are veterans the same as I am, they're not allowed. So we decided to make a place for them in the state of Michigan and the surrounding area. And that's when we established the Michigan War Dog Memorial.
Well, where is the memorial located?
It's a South Lyon on it's 25805 Milford Road. So it's about 2 miles south of New Hudson. And really, if you ever want to go visit us, what I would wish you would, you can't miss it. We got a big sign out there, Michigan War Dog Memorial. We got American flags flying all over the place. So.
Any special training to become war dogs?
Most of the dogs right now are brought in from either Belgium or Germany. They want a certain bloodline with a certain attitude of the dog is required. For the first probably 12 to 14 months, they are fostered. They don't do any training. Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherds, German Shepherds, they don't really mature until they're about 2 years old. So at about 14 to 15 months old, that's when they start their training. And then they go through what they call a basic training. That's just basic fundamentals that they want the dog to do. After that basic training, then they go into what they call the second phase, specialized training. And there's several disciplines that they're trained on. It's either a scout dog, You can have a tracker dog. You can have a explosive detection dog. You can have a security dog. Whatever that training is, it becomes their specialty. And then they're deployed to either a war zone or to a military base for security. So that's how they end up becoming what they call an MWD, a military working dog.
Special burial ceremony for war dogs like?
We want to make sure that these dogs are honored. We want to show our respect when they pass away for their duty to our country. And we have quite a ceremony, which I really say to you, try to make one of our internments. We actually have a full-blown color guard that comes on. We have bagpipers. When the handler or owner is carrying the ashes up to the table of honor, they're escorted by 8 German shepherds. They place the urn on the table of honor. After that, we have an invocation. We have a chaplain who is a colonel in the Air Force that does the invocation for us. After that, I usually read the bio of the dog. We order his service records, and then we make up the bio of what the dog, where he came from, what he did, what he was trained in, and anything that he did that was spectacular is read out during his internment. After that, we present the owner or handler with a folded American flag. We play taps. After taps are played, we do Amazing Grace with the bagpipers. After that is complete, we have 8 German shepherds that do a semicircle in front of the table of honor. It's called a canine salute to their fallen comrade. And they howl for 30 seconds. That's our ceremony.
That sounds really majestic.
It is. It is. Usually at that time, my wife is passing out the Kleenexes. So people get very emotional on it.
I would need one. Do they feel more like pets or comrades?
That's an interesting question. It's a good question, because if a dog is in a combat zone and he's inside the wire, he's just a dog, okay? Once you put the harness on, which you'll see Ziva has a harness on her, once that harness goes on, that's their sign to go to work. And they become very focused on what their job is. If it's explosive detection or if it's scout, whatever it is. During the day outside the wire, they are very focused. When they come back inside the wire and the vest comes off, they become a dog. They become your buddy. You can play with them. You can do whatever, just like a normal relationship with a pet. And there's another advantage and a benefit that happens here, which is you should note. If a soldier is having some problems because of what he may have done or seen that day, he has someone that he can talk to at night, because the dog is with him 24/7. And believe me, he can say anything he wants to that dog, and it'll never be repeated. So he has somebody to touch, to hold, to hug, to talk to. So there's a great benefit to having a dog.
What have war dogs contributed to the war efforts?
A lot. Their main function is saving lives. In World War II, they're credited with saving 15,000 lives. In Korea, they're credited with saving 3,000 lives. In Vietnam, they're credited with saving 10,000 lives. Now right there, you already have 28,000 men and women that would not have come home if it wasn't for a dog. That's why we have to respect them. We have to honor what they do for us. You know, they do protect us. And they was in Bosnia, they was in Iraq, there was in Afghanistan. Right now, I do not have any facts and figures on what the military says they did, but they did save a lot of lives.
What kind of dogs are usually used in the military?
3 main breeds that they use. German Shepherd, of course, is one. Belgian Malinois. Now, Belgian Malinois is from the German Shepherd family, or it's a Shepherd family, but they're smaller. They're about maybe 55 pounds. So the Navy SEALs and the Delta teams, Special Forces, prefer the Belgian Malinois because they're small enough they can strap them to their chests when they jump out of airplanes with them. It's pretty hard to jump out. Now the Ziva, she's probably 105 pounds. That's pretty hard to jump out of a plane with a 105-pound German Shepherd strapped to your chest. So, and the Belgian Malinois are a very good dog. They're a hard hitter. They got loads of energy, and they're easy to train. Then the other breed that they use a lot is the Black Labs. They like the Black Labs for explosive detection. They're very good. They have a very good sense, and they can scent those out. German Shepherds, they like them mainly for security and tracking and patrol, or as a scout dog. So that's the main 3 breeds that they use.
Well, Phil, it has been a pleasure having you and Ziva here today.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for having me.
For more information on Michigan War Dogs Memorial, you can visit www.mwdm.com today. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on Who's Who in the Valley next time.